Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Dana lantern. This is the 1874-65. Let's get into lots of little details here, and we'll start off with the overall size of the fixture body itself, and that's going to be 23.2, and that's going to be independent of the rod that it's hanging from. Diameter is coming in at 16.6. And then the overall height, now that's the distance from the very bottom of the fixture to the actual ceiling, is going to give you a pretty good range. It's going to be starting off at 25.6 at its shortest, go to 70.6 at its longest. So that's going to be with the pipes that are going to come with this. However, this is going to ship with 11 feet of wire, so you can get this to be much longer than the 70 inches. If you need to go beyond the 70 inches, the best thing to do would be email me, say you're looking at an 1874-65, tell me how long you need to be from the ceiling to the bottom of the fixture. We can figure out if you have enough wire to just get some more pipes. You need to go well beyond that because you're coming down from maybe a second story. We do custom lengths, so we can run you through the customs department and get you a very nice quote. Okay, so it's 14.2 pounds. It's not very heavy at all. It's going to be using a canopy up on the ceiling that is 5.5 inches in diameter. It goes over your standard 4-inch junction box, which is simple too. I want to show you a little bit more information about that, and how we're going to do it is we're going to look at the installations instructions pretty quick. So if you're on the page for this, I'm Handmade in Vermont. Look over on that side of the screen, midway down you're going to see a link. It's going to say click here for installations instructions PDF. Open that up for me. It's going to show you a full parts list. It's going to show you all the pipes that you're going to be getting. You're going to get 3 of the 12, you're going to get 1 of the 6, you're going to get 1 of the 3. Those additional kits that you can order are going to have 1 of each of these, so that's a little tidbit to have in mind. The other thing about that install instruction sheet, it's going to have some really good line drawings too. So in addition to a parts list, it's going to show you information about the canopy. It's going to show you drawings of the top of the canopy and how it goes on your junction box. This is slope ceiling adaptable already to 45 degrees, so if this is coming off a cathedral ceiling on a slope, you're going to be fine coming straight down. You're okay there. You're also going to notice that on that page is going to be a chart. That chart is going to show you all of these overall heights that you can attain by using different combinations of these pipes. And it's a very easy fixture to put together. I would probably put the glass on at the very end. We'll talk about glass in a minute. And I would probably figure out from that chart which of these I need, like which combos I'm going to need of these little rods, and then I would kind of pick them out, and I would put a blanket down on a table. I would put the part that has the socket on one end with the wires, and I would kind of put my little parts down. So a pipe, a connector, a pipe, a connector, and the canopy at the end. I would put my wires through those pipes one by one, and then when you're done, all you do is screw them together. So when you're screwing them together, it takes just a minute. Oops, go in there. Okay. They go together very simply. They just screw together like that. And the engineering and the milling on this is so extremely good. You can barely even see a line. It's really, really tight, so it's a nice clean look going all the way up. But again, if you need to go beyond the 70 inches, email me to let me know what you need, and I can kind of walk you through what we can do with all of this. Okay, easy, easy. So glass on this, you've got 2 choices, and they're going to be dramatically different. So the first one's going to be crystal clear, no color, no air bubbles, just clear glass, which means that you're going to be able to see your bulb, so remember that. The other option is going to be opal. Opal is a white glass, an opaque white glass, so you're not going to be able to see the light bulb inside, which is going to kind of open up more avenues for what you can put into it and how much light you can get out of this. It makes a big difference between the glass and what you can put in, and because remember, you're going to see that bulb, so you're going to be probably zeroing in on an aesthetic, pretty bulb, something that's kind of nice to look at if you're doing the clear glass, but you don't necessarily want to be looking at a bulb too. So it kind of goes back to how you're going to have it in your place. If you're going to have it with the clear glass, sometimes I imagine you're going to have it a little higher above eye level so you don't have to look at the bulb. When you're with the opaque glass, that white glass, the opal, which I'm going to talk about more in detail a little later on, you're not going to be able to see any bulbs at all. So you can put in bulbs that aren't so pretty, including our old friends, the big LEDs. If you want to go incandescent, you can still do that up to 100 watts, believe it or not. You can still get those bulbs out in the marketplace. And that's going to be because of the heat generated by an incandescent bulb. You'll see the recommended bulb is actually an A19. An A19 bulb is just a regular bulb size that we all grew up with. It's not a big deal. But when you do the LEDs, there's no limit other than how big a bulb can I get into the metal parts that are just next to it. So we know from the photographs in Hubbardton's page online that you can put in these decorative bulbs. You can also put in those cool Edison looking bulbs that look kind of old-timey, where these kind of come to a point. I would do that maybe if I was doing the clear glass. That's kind of a neat look. But like I said before, nothing is dictating the bulb other than for an LED, can I get it into the fixture? So that really opens up an avenue of what you can do as far as getting light out of this. Because don't forget, these things are supposed to provide a lot of tasks. Most of you are going to be using these over kitchen islands, and you want to get a lot of good task lighting down on that island so you can do your cooking and whatever you're going to be doing. So A19, A20, A21. I can find an A20, that's this bulb. It's a little bigger than the A19 bulb. I can find an A19 up to 100 watts equivalent, but once you get into the A20s and A21s, I can go up to like a 300 watt equivalent if I really needed to. So don't think you're not going to be getting enough light out of this. You can get a ton of light out. They're going to offer these to you in tons of different ways as well. Lots of different ways when you get into LEDs. This is a phosphorus LED. See the cool lines in it? And they just kind of glow really bright. This is the old school LED we all grew up with. They're going to offer these to you in different colors of light when you go online. Or if you just hop into Ace Hardware or even my grocery store in Vermont sells these, they'll offer them to you in 2700 Kelvin. That's a super yellow light. They're also going to offer these to you in daylight, which you have to be kind of careful about because daylight is not a warm light. That's the bluish white light. That it's kind of like an outdoor overcast day. That's going to be 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin on that Kelvin scale. What we like to use in our showroom is warm white or soft white. That mimics the light of an incandescent bulb we grew up with. That is 3,000 Kelvin. That's what we like. So 3,000 Kelvin, warm white, soft white. And then the other part of this is you want to make sure it doesn't matter what bulb you get, you want it to be a dimmable LED, and tell your installer that's what you're doing. I want to touch base on Hubbardton Forge's opal glass for just a second. So all of Hubbardton Forge's glass to begin with is going to be hand blown. This piece is hand blown first in clear, then they're going to come in and they're going to blow another layer of white glass on the inside of this. The third step is they're going to take and they're going to sandblast the whole thing on the inside and the outside. That's going to give you this beautiful, mellow, translucent, milky piece of glass. When you look at this and you can see the layers are actually piled up on the inside of this. Hubbardton Forge is very obsessed about details on all of their pieces, including their glass, and that's why you're here, because you're probably just as obsessed about little details as well. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you are on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over in the red tabs with the pictures in them over there. You're going to see a Finishes Help Guide tab. Open that up for me. It's going to be a video there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes, how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a chart just down below, so scroll down a little bit. You're going to see a chart. You can click on that chart, so you can click on dark smoke, you can click on soft gold, doesn't matter. Big page will pop up showing you lots of different things in that finish. You can go back to the chart and you'll notice there's letters A's on them, letter B's on some of those things, and that's going to be showing you this range of variants that you can expect to see on different translucent finishes, but I'll talk about all of that in the video, okay? Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. And those same red tabs, you're going to see a what's on display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus you want to use the showroom anyway because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case. And that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, That's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program. Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks. It's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.